Ron and I operated the Country Squire Restaurant in Naramata for 23 years, so yes, it certainly is a very big part of our story, and seems to be still a part of many other stories. We had been under a fair bit of chiding and perhaps pressure to use the Country Squire name in one of the beers that we were featuring, and it seemed to be the best fit for this particular beer, so we're thrilled to have it finally in a bottle and finally available.
For those 23 years of the Country Squire operating, Ron was the front of house, the personality of the place, and you were in the kitchen creating wonderful creations as a trained chef. And so now I want you to draw on that palate of yours and describe for us the Squire Scotch Ale.
Well, Scotch ales are a variety of pale ale. They can be quite dark, although usually they're not. This one is a kind of caramel medium ale. Scotch ales have got very little hop, lots of malt, often a touch of sweetness. Sometimes they have peat, sometimes they have smoke, much like some of the characteristics of good scotches. You'll get quite a variety of flavor additives that come through in a Scotch ale. They're usually higher in alcohol, sometimes quite high in alcohol. Sometimes they will carry the characteristics of the malts and the area that they are produced in. Scotland is known for its peat, known for its smoky kinds of malted barleys, and certainly in our Scotch ale that's the case. We haven't used any peat in this one, but we have used smoke that finishes on the end. Scotch ales are wonderful food beers. We have found this is a fabulous beer with so many things. Wonderful with cheeses, great with pizza, awesome with more robust things like stews and that kind of thing. But also lending itself really, really well to Thai cooking, to Asian cooking, to curries. There's a little touch of sweetness in the malts themselves in the Scotch ale that just works so well with food.
One of your longer established brands, the Naramata Nut Brown Ale, also has been featured in some recipes. What are your favorite recipes or your favorite pairings with Naramata Nut Brown?
Well, Nut Brown Ale does lend itself very well to being cooked with, and lots of people use it in braises, again in stews or short ribs. A couple of restaurants have done really wonderful French onion soups using the Naramata Nut Brown Ale. Again, lots and lots of malt in the Nut Brown Ale that leads it to be suitable for foods that work with that kind of a pairing. You get different meats that are lined up and different seafoods that are lined up that work equally well with the malt of the Naramata Nut Brown Ale.